Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Sportster. So any of you guys have been watching the channel for a while. Sportster is notorious for killing batteries and being hard to start. So I want to show you guys, this is kind of how she's going right now. I had her on the tender, but even with the tender on it, she's just yeah, she just don't want to start right. So a couple things contribute to that. So number one would be battery draining down. Number two, oil being thick, also making it hard to start. So this will be the third battery I've put on this thing since I bought it. It's 2021. I tried getting a higher amperage battery to put in it, but the higher amperage battery was actually too big for the cradle. Older Sportsters had a passer. You can kind of split the battery between the rails and make it fit. This one, the oil tank is on the other side. You know, there's only so far to go in. So I had to buy another battery, and I'll show you the guys this. So now they'll tell you these batteries are ready to go as soon as they come out of the store. I always want to put mine on a charge first because I know how these things go. So I've got her. She's been sitting all night. She's at 12.9 volts now. So I think that's kind of sufficient for what I want to do. So we're going to, I've already changed the oil in the engine, which made it easier to start over, because before it wouldn't even crank over right. But now we're going to do the transmission. So the engine was pretty easy to do. I mean, I don't think I really need to make a video about that. But we're going to show how the transmission oil is changed today. I'm going to change the battery. I'm going to give you guys some pointers on when you change the battery, how to really not mess it up. You wouldn't think you can mess up a battery, but there's little hints I'm going to give you to make it easier. So follow along with me. All right, so to do our transmission oil on our clutch here, so obviously this is our clutch cover, our primary cover. So for the drain plug, we need a 5/8 socket, and for the cover itself, we need a T27 star. So I got both on a ratchet. Anytime you pull these off, be prepared to change the gaskets, which I do. I went ahead and got the gaskets. And I'm putting, this is also what I put in the engine, because when it's colder outside, I do run this in it. And hadn't put this in the transmission yet. I'm going to go ahead and lighten it up and do that. So I guess let's get started. Why not? All right, so the first thing, any Harley, remove the seat. And I think that's the same with the BMW, Gull Wings, any bike really, remove the seat. Only addition to that on Sportsters is usually remove the exhaust also. But on this one, everything we're doing is on this side, not on the exhaust side, so seat's the issue. All right, and they're not easy to come off. Also, I put a larger tank on this, so I'm taking up a whole lot more space. So it takes a little while to get this seat off. I really gotta do some pushing. All right. You'll also notice to do the transmission, you have to have it sitting straight up, and unless you're gonna have somebody out here holding it for you the entire time, I went ahead and got a front wheel chock. Very cool, very easy to set up. Once you get it in, just make sure you strap it in. Even though the wheel chock is supposed to hold it in and stabilize it, I strap it in, because nothing's gonna be worse than being on a bike, working on it, have the transmission open, have something off of it, and the entire bike fall over. Anybody that's ever watched Orange County Chopper has seen that happen quite a few times for some reason. All right, let's get to it. All right, so looking through this jumble of stuff, we can see past jumps I've made before. While I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and look through these, make sure I don't have any bare wires, because something's making that battery die a lot more often, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I don't want to be bitten in the butt by a wire that's rubbed through that's touching the frame somewhere, because that would be awkward, right? Okay. To make this easier, I'm going to show you guys something cool. All right, so here's your trick for today, for the day. Anytime you take a wire off, zip tie them together, because especially on this, I've got so many auxiliary things on here that it can kind of get lost in the shuffle. So as I take them off, obviously we're going to take our negative off first, because that's a rule. With our totally American bike, we're going to use our 10mm wrench. Yeah, okay. Anyway, not poking fun at anybody, just saying. Okay, so we're going to zip tie these together, make sure nothing gets lost, shoved under a frame, and they forget it exists. Because you'll notice there's 3 on this side. This goes to my battery tender, my lightning box. And this one's the battery for, well, everything else. That was not me dropping the wrench. Absolutely not. Don't get behind me. That was not me picking it up. Okay. Put that back in the battery, because I'll lay it down somewhere and forget it, because I'm old. And make sure you get all of the terminals you took off, because it'll be awkward if you don't. Okay. So here's my Thunder box, in case you guys were wondering about it. Still in there. Still chilling like a villain. Alright. So the other battery clamp is way under here. See it right there. What? 5/16. Too small. 11/32. Too small. 3/8. Just right. Alright, battery clamp off. Put that back where I don't lose it. Which kind of becomes a theme when you get old. Slide the battery out. And we're going to leave it out while we work on the transmission. So right under here, that's our drain plug. We'll go ahead and we'll take our rags out. We'll get more wet than they're also already going to be. Alright, while that's draining, we're going to check out our magnetic plug. There's just a little bit of goo on there. It's really fine, so I think that's just engine wear. No problem there. Our stream, let's take a look at our oil. It's a little occluded, so a little bit of moisture got in there. It's been winter. We're at the winter now, so I'm not really surprised to see that. But if you actually look through your stream, it's actually pretty clean. So that's it, it's okay. Alright, so while that's draining, we're going to go ahead and open up our clutch cover, transmission cover, primary drive inspection cover, whatever you want to call it. And I will probably have to look up the torque specs on these before I put this back together, because I sure don't want to get them wrong. It does not seem like there's much torque on these. So I'll switch to straight drive, just make these easier to take off. Just kind of noticed I had 4 or 5 magnetic bowls around here, and all of them have bolts in them. And I don't know what the bolts are for. I'm assuming they were something I took apart and just saved the bolts from something else. But maybe I need to figure that out. But that's for another video. Well, it's probably kind of quiet. I'll probably put some music on the back of this. All right, spring popped out. Don't drop that. You need that. All right, so if you look inside here, the bottom of that right here is where you're going to refill all this back up to. And I'm going to obviously reference the manual for this, but I'll show you guys in the manual where it means, what it's talking about. All right, so you can see from here, that is the level that they tell you that the oil needs to come back up to. Let me point out something really clear here. This is your drain plug. They tell you to replace the O-ring if it seems destroyed or damaged in any way. This one, they don't give you an option. They say replace it. And if you say why, they say, did I stutter? It's not an option. That one gets replaced. You can see where it's, maybe they tried to put silicone in the gap. I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe that's just the gap. But either way, yeah, that one gets replaced. So I have another one. It looks like they put dabs of silicone on to hold it in place. Not sure why. Anyway, we're going to clean that out real good. Run a fiber wire or a fiber brush through it. Make sure we get all the crap out of it. We're going to brush it. We're going to brush his teeth. We're going to get his teeth nice and clean. Brush those teeth. All right, well, let's put our drain plug back in and get it back together. Oh, I wanted to show you the level inside. So where it shows you that little picture there, that's way down inside there. You can barely even, see if I can even see in there. But yeah, that's where it's going to come up to. Way down inside there, bottom of those teeth. All right, so I'm going to do the best I can to get it back up to that level. We're also going to clean all the Teflon tape off of this and retape it. All right, let's get her back in. All right, so torque inspection. Let's see, torque for the drain plug, 14 to 30 foot-pounds. Let's get a foot-pounder. 14 to 30 foot-pounds. I have decided to go with 25 because that's like right in the middle. Okay, one more. Okay, one more time. All right, I'm gonna call that good. Well, let's put some Earl in it. All right, so just about, it's supposed to hold just about a quart. So we're gonna look how much I have here, which is about almost 2 quarts. So we're going to put until I have almost a quart left. That's a half a quart. So let's take our little trusty flashlight. I think it's almost there. So they say if you put too much in, it'll cause the clutch to slip, cause it be hard to coming in and out of gear. It's just so hard to see. But I think a little bit more. Yeah, it ain't easy to see inside there. right, so that's right there. So if you can, well, you can see that down there, but that's actually right perfect, right where it's engaging the bottom teeth there. And if you look at how much is left here, it's right at a quart. So I think I did something right. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there screaming that I didn't put 2050 Harley grade in there, but it's winter. Harley forums and the old timers all say put lighter stuff in there in the winter. So it's about 40 in the morning here, 60 in the evenings, later in the afternoon. So I think this is what I need to put in there. So let's get her put back together. Don't drop the screw. Don't drop the spring. Put that on first. And since I don't have the fancy one, there is no up or down. I just have to line this up with the clutch cable. Oh, hey, how about I put a gasket in it? That'd be a great idea. Almost pulled a good one. And then everybody would be screaming at me. Stay. Let's get her a little slick. Maybe she'll stay in there a little better. I know in the maintenance world we put grease on these to hold them in a little better, but I don't think that would hurt it doing this, but okay. Okay, everything's staying. Cool. All right, let's get some screws in this thing. And since it's in a channel, I'm pretty sure that the O-ring won't fall out. Possibly. Okay, I think we're okay. Let's get the rest of it in. And then we can find a torque value. The one on the bottom suspiciously had Teflon on it. I'm gonna try to act like that wasn't for a specific reason. All right, let's get a torque value on those. 5 to 12 Newton meters. All right, well, I think I have a quarter drive. Let's go find it. All right, so going with a star pattern, we're just going to snug them all up. Let's put a battery back on. And like most things in life, you're gonna go from the last thing you did is now the first thing you'll do, and go in reverse order. So we'll slide her in. Make sure there's nothing blocking our path here. Get our strap on, no jokes. Okay, make some jokes on. There we go. See, you just gotta have patience, which I'm not really good at, to be honest with you. Before I put everything back together, let me check all of my connections, make sure my connections are good. They look good. Okay, so positive first, because we don't want to arc out. heavier terminal under and our lighter one on top. And make sure all of them are pointing not straight up. That way you don't have to run the risk of it arcing out if something smashes down on it. You can call that a pro tip, you can call that a rainy tip, I don't care what you call it. And then tighten until it's snug. So there's a little nut inside there, inside that lead housing, and it'll seat once you put enough torque on it. If you get gun shy on it and don't put enough torque on it, as you ride, as it wiggles its way in, it'll back itself off, and it'll loosen your battery terminal, and then you'd have starting problems. And yes, I did check to make sure that wasn't my problem. Okay. All right, so here is your real life pro tip. It's gonna freak you guys out, but you gotta get over it. When you connect your main terminal, which is this one, it will arc. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because it arcs doesn't mean something's wrong. Your computer, everything is still trying to draw voltage. So once you put the negatives on there, you're completing a circuit, it's going to try to, power some things up. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. You got this. Okay, let's tighten her up. All right, okay, moment of truth. Let's see how she cranks. That part works. That's pretty good. All right, battery still has to charge up, equalize to the alternator on the bike. But the only thing left to do now is take it for a ride and then check the leaks afterwards. So let's do that. All right, let's get this bad girl out of here. See how she'll start. Oh, geez, that's much better. Not even a hesitation. All right. Let's put on these fine Indy Ridge gloves. I do have to get with Steve and find out what my new code is. Okay. Let's take it for a ride. All right. Where shall we go? I say we go down some back road. That's the answer to everything. Where should I go? Back road. So the debate on this is running the thinner oil. Do you need the 2050 in a Harley engine? Will it decapitate itself? Will it spontaneously combust? All of the web people that have never really rode motorcycles say yes, detrimental effect, hazardous explosion. Everybody that's rode for a long time says no. This is a frequent thing in the summer. You run a heavier oil in the winter, you run a lighter oil. That's a common thing. But one of the things I have heard is you got to watch your clutch friction. So far, yep, so it's a little quicker to respond, to be honest with you. But no, I mean, the clutch goes in, the clutch goes out, clutch is fully engaged. When I pull the clutch in, the clutch fully disengages. Will that change in the future? We'll see. I don't know, because, you know, I believe the old heads, the old naysayers, even though they hate water-cooled engines, they know these twins. They know these, you know, these air-cooled engines. So you gotta listen. You gotta listen to the voice of experience when it's talking. And I would say some of these guys are pretty experienced. But most of all, am I having fun? Yes, this is a fun bike. So let's take a trip. In the meantime, let's listen to some music. So what is Rainey listening to? Am I listening to Five Finger Death Punch? Am I listening to Metallica? Am I listening to Aurora? I'm listening to Aurora. I'm a grown-ass man. I will listen to Aurora if I want to. But I will back it up to a song I actually want to hear. Alright, let's get her up on the highway here. Do them head checks. Always remember, you're small, they're big, don't matter if you got the right of way or not. Alright, I'm going to spare you guys the agony of listening to the popping microphone because it was very windy and the mic was just picking up all of the external sounds. But I'll just tell you, I was having a lot of fun here. And that's probably all you really need to know about this clip. Let's move on. That is why I really don't like a throttle buster. Let's get that out of the way. She's great on the highway, then you forget to turn her off. Let's say it's woefully inadequate and puckering. So we may or may not have talked about this before. Whenever I'm riding, I like to keep the bike above 3,000 RPM. What that does for you, one, keeps your bike high revved, and if you have to change gears, it's high enough rev where you got some power, slow enough rev where the bike's not overrunning. But yeah, I never let it get below like 3,000. The bike likes to run that fast. So this has a mechanical oil pump on it, and when you're running low revs with the bike under pressure, it wants oil. Idling, that's one thing, but you can actually idle and starve the bike of oil if you leave it idling too long, because it's not getting enough oil. It's building all that heat up, and it likes the flow of oil. It likes some nice fresh oil. Everybody does. I like oil. Oil's good. But it also helps if you got ABS. The ABS kicks in per revolution of the engine. So if you can imagine, you're going 5,000 RPMs and the ABS kicks in every 100 RPM. And then you're going 3,000 RPM and it kicks in every 100th RPM. You're going to get a whole lot more control with higher revs. So just a little something to keep in your back pocket. And also it sounds a lot cooler. Must be anyway. So we've been cruising for a while now. I have no clue what road I'm on. Obviously I just got an olive branch, so I'm going the right way. Yeah, I like to get out, take some back roads, go places I don't know where I've been. If I always go right, I want to take a left, see where it goes. Worst that could happen is you go, okay, I have no clue where I'm at, and you end up turning on your GPS and finding your way home. Right? Get lost. It's kind of fun. I mean, the worst that could happen is you could find new roads to ride. Or you could ride a road that you've never known before and go around a blind corner. And anyway, that's far end. That's far end spectrum stuff. Don't think about that. And I should know where I'm at now. And I do. All right. I'm back in Olive Branch. See, that wasn't hard. Oh, look, it's the way home. Let's do it. All right, so final thoughts. It's ran great. I've had her out now for almost an hour. She's running fine, shifting fine, ran her through red lights, ran her on back roads, or ran her on the highway, and it's running fine. So the things they said to watch out for: sticky clutch, loose clutch, slipping clutch, coming out of gear. None of those things have happened. Now, what might it happen when it gets 100 degrees, 110 outside because it's Mississippi? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm here for you. I suffer so you don't have to. I'm out here riding on this gorgeous day, on this gorgeous motorcycle, having fun, where you don't have to. No, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, yep, so took a quick look at the red lights when I was stopping. I'll take another look when I get home, but I think I got all the seals in right. Everything's good, as far as I can tell. So let's park her up when we get home, and I'll take a closer look at everything and I'll show you. That's from before. Alright, so quick scan shows we are not leaking anywhere. So I'm gonna call that a win. Alright guys, well, that's it for this one. If you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and you know, tell your friends. If you got some random Harley piece of equipment, something else, BMW, I don't know. If you want to see more content on the Harley, tell me what you want to see, and I'll make it happen. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.